The galaxy was a place where many species lived together. For centuries, they shared peace through the Galactic Council. This council was a group where all important races met. They talked, made rules, and solved problems. Everyone respected the council because it kept peace in the galaxy. Humans were part of this council, but not many thought much about them. Humans were new to the galaxy politics. Some saw them as small players, but humans were strong, smart, and always watching. They learned fast and kept their own secrets. One day, everything changed. Without warning, humans sent a message to the Galactic Council. The message was short but shocking. It said humans would end all diplomatic relations with every alien race. No talks, no meetings, no friendship, just silence. The message spread like fire. Alien races were confused. Some laughed, thinking it was a joke. Others worried deeply. The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. Ambassadors gathered in the huge hall. The room was full of tension. The council leader, an ancient alien with glowing eyes, spoke first. "We have received a message from Earth. Humans refuse to talk to us anymore." This is the first time in history a member of the council has done this. What could be the reason? Everyone looked at each other. No one had an answer. Some whispered that humans might be afraid. Others thought humans were angry. One ambassador from the sleek and fast-moving Venari race said, "Maybe humans plan to attack. Cutting talks is the first step before war." A silence filled the room. Another ambassador, a calm and wise elder from the Graken race, said, "We cannot guess. We must try to contact them again. Diplomacy is the only way." Meanwhile, on Earth, humans watched the galaxy's reaction quietly. Their leaders sat in a hidden room beneath the surface, watching screens with alien faces full of fear and anger. The human commander stood up and said, "They do not understand yet. This is not fear or anger, this is a warning." In the city, normal people went about their daily lives. They saw no signs of the political drama. But in secret, human soldiers prepared. They trained day and night. New ships were built in hidden places. The humans were ready for something big. Back in the Galactic Council, the emergency meeting lasted for hours. Some wanted to send a message to humans asking for peace. Others wanted to send ships to show strength. The debate was fierce. The council was divided. One young ambassador, new to politics but brave, stood up. "We should send a special envoy to Earth. Let us meet humans face to face. Maybe then we can understand their choice." The council agreed. A team was chosen. They were not warriors but diplomats and explorers. Their mission was simple: find out why humans had cut ties. The envoy's ship flew through space toward Earth. The journey was long and quiet. The team wondered what they would find. Would humans be angry, afraid, or something else? When the envoy reached Earth's orbit, they tried to contact the humans. They sent messages asking for a meeting, but no answer came. The silence was strange and worrying. The envoy's ship moved closer to Earth, hoping to see signs of life and peace. But what they saw was not what they expected. There were no open cities or welcoming lights. Instead, they saw large bases filled with ships and weapons. One envoy member said, "This looks like a military world. Humans are preparing for war, not peace." The envoy decided to land. They chose a quiet area far from the big cities. When they stepped out, they saw humans watching them with cold eyes. No smiles, no greetings. The human commander met the envoy. He was tall and strong, with a serious face. He said, "We did not invite you here. You should leave." The envoy leader replied, "We came to understand we want peace." The human commander shook his head. "Peace is over. The galaxy must know we will protect ourselves. No more talks, no more lies." The envoy was shocked. They had never seen such anger from humans before. The humans took the envoy to a secret room. On the walls were maps of the galaxy and strange symbols. There were pictures of alien ships destroyed by unknown weapons. The commander said, "We are ready. We have weapons no one knows about. If the galaxy tries to attack us, we will fight back. The envoy felt fear. They asked, "Why? What made humans do this?" The commander looked away. "We will not say yet, but the galaxy must listen." The envoy left Earth with heavy hearts. They sent a report to the Galactic Council. The Council was more worried than ever. Back on Earth, the humans watched the stars. They knew a storm was coming. The galaxy would never be the same. The sudden break in diplomacy was not the end. It was the start of something bigger and more dangerous. Something the galaxy was not ready for, and humans were ready to face it no matter what. The envoy ship moved slowly toward Earth. Everyone on board was quiet. They wanted answers, but they did not know what to expect. The silence from Earth was strange. Normally, humans would send a reply, but this time, nothing came back. As they entered Earth's orbit, the view was different from what the envoy had seen before. The planet looked peaceful from far away. But when they looked closer, they saw signs of great change. There were new structures, big and strange. Many of them looked like hidden bases. The cities did not glow as brightly as before. It felt like Earth was holding its breath. The envoy decided to land far from any city. They chose a place surrounded by tall trees and quiet hills. The moment their ship touched the ground, human soldiers appeared. They watched carefully, never smiling, never speaking. The envoy leader stepped forward, hoping to start a talk. But the humans stayed still and silent. After a long moment, a tall man in uniform approached. He looked serious, almost cold. "We are here to understand," the envoy leader said, "to talk and find peace." The man shook his head. "There is no time for talk. The galaxy is dangerous now. We are not weak." The envoy was confused. "Why is this? What has changed?" The man's eyes darkened. "We have been watching, waiting, preparing. Something is coming, something that could harm us all." The envoy wanted to know more, but the man did not say more. Instead, he took them to a secret place underground. There, they saw many screens and maps. Images of distant stars and unknown ships flickered on the walls. "We have weapons," the man said quietly. "Weapons strong enough to protect Earth and to warn others." The envoy felt tension. They asked, "Who is this threat? Why have you kept this secret?" The man looked away. "For safety. If the wrong people knew, it could cause panic or worse." The envoy understood. The humans had changed. They were no longer just explorers or diplomats. They were guardians, ready to defend their home. Outside, the world seemed calm, but inside, humans worked day and night. New ships were built in hidden docks. Soldiers trained in quiet fields. Scientists worked on strange machines. The envoy asked if they could speak to the people to explain Earth's choice, but the man shook his head again. "The people are ready, but the galaxy is not. If we show weakness, everything could be lost." The envoy felt a chill. They had come for answers but found only more questions. As they prepared to leave, the man gave a final warning. "Tell the council, Earth is ready, and if others want war, they will get more than they expect." The envoy ship left Earth's atmosphere. Outside, the stars looked peaceful again. But inside, everyone knew the galaxy was changing. Back on the ship, the envoy gathered. They spoke in low voices, sharing fears and hopes. Some believed humans were right to prepare. Others worried this might lead to more problems. The envoy sent their report to the Galactic Council. The message was clear. Humans were no longer the same. They were strong, silent, and ready. The council met again. The room was filled with whispers and uneasy looks. The human silence had become a loud warning. No one knew what would happen next. Meanwhile, Earth's secret preparations continued. Humans trained harder and built more powerful machines. They waited, watching the stars, knowing a new chapter was about to begin. The galaxy was no longer the peaceful place it once was. The silence from Earth was a sign something big was coming, and humans were ready to face it alone if they had to. The galaxy buzzed with whispers after the envoy returned from Earth. Every corner of the Galactic Council echoed with questions. Why had humans stopped all communication? What was this unknown threat they prepared for? Fear and curiosity mixed like a storm, but no one had answers. The council gathered once again in the Great Hall. Alien leaders looked at each other with worry. The humans' silence was louder than words. Some believed humans were sending a message, that they would no longer be part of the council's peace. Others thought humans might be protecting a secret, too important to share. Amid the chatter, the Galactic Council decided to send a second message to Earth. This time, it was a warning wrapped in respect. Return to dialogue, or we must consider that your silence means conflict. But Earth's response was calm and clear. A new message arrived, simple yet powerful. The galaxy has forgotten the dangers beyond its stars. We will not speak while threats loom. Prepare yourselves. This message shocked many. It showed humans were confident and unyielding. The council felt a mix of fear and respect. The humans were no longer outsiders. They were a force, quiet but strong. Back on Earth, leaders watched the council's reaction carefully. In a hidden room filled with maps and stars, a human spoke quietly. They must understand why we act this way. We cannot waste time with empty talks. Across the planet, human scientists worked on new technology. Ships were built in secret, faster and stronger than before. Soldiers trained for challenges no one could imagine. The whole world seemed to breathe in preparation. The envoy's leader, still uncertain, decided to try one last time. A small team would go to Earth again. This time, they would ask one question. What is the true danger you see? When they landed, the atmosphere was tense. Humans watched carefully but did not stop the visitors. The team was led to a quiet room where a human commander waited. He spoke calmly. We face a danger older than the Council, something the galaxy has ignored for too long. We cut ties to focus on this threat. The envoy listened closely as the commander revealed more. There was a dark force far beyond known space. It moved silently, growing stronger every day. This force was neither friend nor ally. It was a shadow that could change everything. The envoy's eyes widened. This was more than they expected. The commander continued, We prepared in silence to protect not only Earth but the whole galaxy. The Council's peace will not hold if this darkness reaches us. The envoy returned to the Council with heavy hearts. They shared the story of a threat hidden in the dark reaches of space. The Council was shocked. For years they had not noticed this danger. Now it was too close to ignore. The Council debated what to do. Some wanted to unite against this shadow. Others were afraid humans' warning was a reason to distrust them. The galaxy was at a crossroads. Meanwhile, on Earth, the people watched the stars. They felt the weight of the coming days. They had chosen silence and strength. Now they waited to see if the galaxy would stand with them or fall apart. The sudden break in talks was more than a choice. It was a call to prepare, a warning that the galaxy's future was about to change forever. The Galactic Council sat in uneasy silence after hearing the envoy's warning. The threat from the deep darkness was something none of them had expected. Some ambassadors looked at each other with worry, while others tried to hide their fear behind calm faces. The galaxy they knew was changing. The humans' choice to cut all ties now made sense. They were not rejecting peace without reason. They were preparing for something bigger, something that could not be ignored. The Council realized they had underestimated humanity's strength and foresight. Many races began to send scouts and spies to the edge of known space. They wanted to see this shadow for themselves. But the darkness was elusive. It moved like a slow storm, hiding behind stars. In clouds of gas, no one could get close without fear and confusion. Back on Earth, human leaders met in secret. They spoke of plans that stretched far into the future. Their technology was advanced and growing. They were building ships that could travel faster than light, engines that could jump through space in moments. The quiet planet was becoming a center of power. Humans trained their minds as well as their bodies. Schools taught not only history and science, but also the skills needed for survival in a dangerous galaxy. Children grew up knowing that the stars held secrets and threats. The envoy returned to Earth once again, this time invited by the humans. They were curious if the galaxy was ready to listen. When they landed, the atmosphere was different. Humans were more open but still guarded. The envoy was taken to a large hall filled with people from many races. Humans spoke of their fears, their hopes, and their plans. They explained the darkness beyond the stars was not just a threat to Earth but to all life. The envoy listened carefully. They felt a new respect for humans, who had faced fear and chosen to prepare quietly. The humans' warning was no longer a threat but a call for unity. The council received the report with mixed feelings. Some saw a chance for peace and cooperation. Others doubted if the galaxy could come together after so much silence and suspicion. Meanwhile, the darkness in space grew closer. Strange signals were detected by scouts, signals no one understood. Some ships disappeared without a trace. The fear spread quietly but deeply. On Earth, humans watched the skies. They sent messages to the council inviting other races to join their preparations. It was a new time, a time for the galaxy to decide. Would they stand together against the unknown? Or would old fears and mistrust tear them apart? The silence from Earth was ending. The humans were ready to speak, ready to lead if the galaxy would follow. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Nothing would be the same again. The galaxy had never seen such tension. After the humans' warning and the growing shadow, beyond the stars every race was on edge. The Galactic Council struggled to find a way forward. Some leaders wanted to ignore the threat, hoping it would pass. Others called for unity, for all to prepare together. But old fears ran deep. The humans stayed calm but firm. They sent envoys to different worlds, sharing knowledge about the coming darkness. Their ships traveled far, carrying not weapons, but messages and technology. They offered help, training, and ideas to build defenses. On many planets, people listened. Some were afraid, others hopeful. But many leaders were slow to trust. Years of politics, rivalry, and suspicion made cooperation difficult. The humans understood this, but they did not give up. In a quiet corner of space, a small group of humans and aliens began training together. They shared skills, learned from each other, and built new machines. This group became a symbol of hope, a sign that unity was possible. Back on Earth, scientists discovered strange patterns in the signals from the darkness. They were not just noises, but seemed to be messages or warnings. The mystery deepened. What was this force trying to say? The humans worked to decode the signals, but it was hard. The patterns changed, like a puzzle that moved on its own. Still, the effort united many minds. They believed understanding these signals might be the key to survival. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council faced a difficult choice. They could accept the humans' call and prepare together, or continue with old ways and risk disaster. The Council's meetings were long and filled with debate. Some races feared losing power if they joined the humans. Others worried that the threat might not be real, just a trick. The uncertainty made decisions slow and fragile, but the darkness did not wait. Ships from the outer regions reported strange changes in space. Stars flickered strangely, and paths once safe were now blocked by unknown forces. The galaxy's edge felt colder, more dangerous. The humans sent a final message to the Council. The time to wait is over. Prepare or be ready to face what comes alone. This message was clear and firm. It was not a threat, but a promise of protection, if others joined. It was also a warning that Earth would stand firm no matter what. The envoy that had traveled so many times returned to Earth again. This time, they saw a planet changed by resolve. The humans were no longer quiet watchers. They were leaders, ready to guide others through the dark times ahead. The envoy's report sparked new hope. Some council members began to change their minds. They started to believe that working with humans might be the only way to survive. The galaxy moved toward a new future. One truth was clear: the coming days would test everyone. Old fears must be left behind, or the darkness would consume them all, and humanity, once ignored or underestimated, was ready to show the way. The galaxy held its breath as the final decisions were made. After years of silence, warnings, and secret preparations, the moment had come. The shadow beyond the stars was no longer distant. It moved closer, unstoppable and mysterious. The Galactic Council met one last time. The hall was filled with tension and hope. Some leaders came with heavy hearts, fearing what was to come. Others stood with new determination, ready to unite. Humans arrived with quiet confidence. They did not demand power or control. Instead, they offered guidance and strength. Their message was clear. Together, we can face this darkness. A plan was made. Ships from many worlds would join forces, training and preparing in ways never seen before. Scientists shared knowledge. Soldiers learned from each other. The galaxy began to move as one. But even with this unity, the fear remained. No one knew what the darkness truly was or how to stop it. The unknown was frightening, but it also brought out courage and hope. On Earth, the people watched the stars every night. They had chosen this path. They had chosen silence to prepare, and now they chose to stand with others. The first sign of the shadow appeared as strange lights flickering beyond the edge of known space. Scouts sent to investigate sent back messages filled with awe and worry. The darkness was alive in a way no one understood. The United Fleet gathered at a distant star system. Ships of all shapes and sizes from many species floated silently in the cold void. The leader spoke, reminding all why they were there. To protect life, to protect hope. Humans shared their newest technology, ships faster and smarter, machines that could sense danger before it arrived. They had spent years preparing, not just for war, but for survival and peace. As the fleet moved closer to the shadow, the air was thick with tension. No one spoke much. Every eye watched the dark space ahead. Then, a signal came through. It was unlike any language known, filled with strange patterns and rhythms. The humans stepped forward to try and communicate. It was a moment of hope. Maybe the darkness was not just a threat. Maybe it wanted to be understood. The fleet waited. The galaxy waited. In that silence, something changed. The darkness pulsed, then shifted almost as if it was listening. For the first time in many years, the galaxy held its breath. Not in fear, but in hope. Humans had broken silence not to start war, but to bring the galaxy together. The future was still uncertain. The shadow still loomed. But one thing was sure, the galaxy was no longer alone. Together, they would face whatever came next.